Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Damn, my man Kleppo. Kleppo! You know, that's Jurgen Klopp for those who don't know what I'm talking about. You know, the trainer for Liverpool. You know, we're talking about soccer right now for those who don't know. You know, they came in second in the Champions League. You know, Real Madrid, there's a whole lot of Real Madrid fans of the world over, so I'm pretty sure they're happy Real Madrid back on top of Champions League win. That's huge for a lot of people. You know, and I roll with Jurgen Klopp. I think what he's done with Liverpool is nothing less than phenomenal. They even won the FA Cup, I think it is, in Premier League. You know, when they have the little pokal, they call it. They won that. He was in the final with Liverpool. He's won it the first time in 30 years. And, you know, and then when he was in the German league before, he had actually won the title twice with Dortmund, where we all know that Bayern wins every damn year. Matter of fact, let me just tell y'all something before we get into boxing. Bayern Munich has won in the Bundesliga 10 championships in a row. I don't think we've ever seen in any league in whatever kind of sport that somebody went in 10 damn times in a row. That means something is wrong with the damn league. Get it together. What if it's wrong with it? It's Bayern. Just, you know, if somebody else is good, Bayern will buy their players. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Jurgen Klopp beat Bayern a year or two with Dortmund, then moved to Liverpool, and they hadn't won in 30 years. And he brought them a championship, a Premier League championship, a Champions League championship, and he better have a statue outside of Anfield Road somewhere, right? But he didn't win the Champions League, but he took them to the final. Pretty awesome. Now, going across the pond back to the pay-per-view fight, which I didn't understand why it was pay-per-view. That's just me. You know, we had Gervonta Tank Davis, who's a cash cow in boxing, versus Romero, you know, the #1 contender in the lightweight division in the WBA, I think it was, #1 contender, and a stuff talker, you know, a ish talker. And he basically was #1, you know, somebody who comes after you, try to knock you out. But he basically talked his way into this fight and made the fight big, but it still shouldn't have been pay-per-view, in my opinion, me personally. But it was, and I think it's pretty successful. And talking about live gate, you know, they had 18,000 people in the place in the Barclays Center. I think it was the highest grossing event in the Barclays Center or something like that, which, you know, think about it. Tank Davis versus Romero. It's not a unification match. It's not an undisputed match. The real match to me is Devin Haney versus Kambosos for all the marbles in the 135 pounds division. So I'm a little bit irked because, you know, they'll call Gervonta Tank Davis the king of the lightweights, right? And that's why I call him Black Canelo. And he even said this week, you know, he considers himself like a Black Canelo. And what I mean by that is, you know, like Canelo we'll call the best fighter in all of boxing, right? Knowing that that's not the truth. And there's people in his divisions that he just refused to fight. Now, in Gervonta Davis, I can't say refuse to fight, but if he's going to be the king of the lightweights, why don't you, is there anybody you're going to be, you know, fighting that's kind of like kings in waiting? Like, you know, the ones that are going for undisputed. Devin Haney, he's been there for a while. Lomachenko has been there for a while. Teofimo Lopez just left. You know, there's some stuff. I ain't going to even mention Ryan Garcia because I ain't blaming nobody for not fighting Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia ain't showing up. As soon as you say you come and he ain't counting no more. But there's other, you know, there's some, you know, significant people in the division, and Tank Davis hasn't fought them. He goes to 140 to fight a regular champion. Brings Leo Santa Cruz up from 126 to bring him up to 130 and goes down to fight him, but not Shakur Stevenson. So my point, Gervonta Tank Davis is awesome, just like Canelo is awesome, but they're not the very best until they fight the other very best. And let's not get into anointing him. That's what my issue is with Gervonta Tank Davis. And the fights that be having to me are like circus fights. They're never really super significant since he's left the 130-pound division. Still decent fights. You know, Gamboa went 12 rounds with him with one leg, which he should readdress or whatever. Or right now, after taking care of Rolly, then handle something. Speaking of Rolly and Isaac Cruz, fighting Gervonta Davis has raised their stock. Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz did a good job against Gervonta Tank Davis. Isaac Cruz did a job against him. Lost the fight, but you know, had one hand. Gervonta Davis fought him with one hand, which is props to Gervonta for handling that. But it put Isaac Cruz on the map. Rolly Romero. Now, some might not like his smack talking, which I don't really, because it just he kind of just seems like he just lost his damn mind because just he never turns it off. Some people turn it on and turn it off. He just never turns it off. So it would irk a person, we got a little age on him. But he's doing his job, right? Talking a little smack. But because don't let the smack talking, blind you of what he said he was going to do. Now he said he was going to go in there and knock him out in one round. He didn't even try to do that. But he was walking down Tank Davis the whole time. He was walking down Tank Davis the whole time. We ain't gonna answer this, right? We'll get back to it. But at the end of the day, right? He was walking down your boy, Tank Davis, the whole fight, and he was pressing the action, right? Out of the first rounds, you had 5 rounds. I gave him, I think he was up by 2 rounds. By the end of 5, got knocked out in 6, but he's at the end of 5. So I think he did a pretty good job, Rolly, by saying what he was going to do and trying to do it. You're walking down Davis, but I knew Tank Davis was the better fighter, the more refined fighter. Even though Davis I thought was behind after round 5, I never thought that Davis wasn't going to catch this dude eventually, right? Because Davis is Davis, So he did end up catching him with a counter left, after getting hit with a nice right hand, matter of fact. Nice right hand for Rolly, to let Rolly come in, lean too much, and hit him with a left. Now, me personally, I think that Rolly Romero got the Lennox Lewis treatment versus Oliver McCall, for those who understand. Oliver McCall hit Lewis with something. Lewis fell down, got up, had his hands up, one leg buckled, and they called the fight off. Similar with Rolly. I don't think the fight should have been called off yet. Let Gervonta come back in there and have to finish the job. Because that also, people open up when they try to finish, and you can get countered. We got none of that. Rolly got hit with the first good blow of the fight, and the fight's over, even though he's up. Right? He's not doing well. You're not going to get hit and fall and get up, and then you're doing well right away. You're going to be a little, something's going to be up. Now, I've seen these long counts where they follow the other guy all the way to the corner and talk to him for a minute and come back and start at 1. When Rolly, they started at 5. He's up, and there's no, just like basically we're calling the fight. Rolly, was he doing great? No. But should we let him, finish? Because even when you're hurt, right, and we've seen this in many fights, when you hurt, you still got a left hook from hell. Or somebody else trying to finish you that have changed the course of fights. He didn't get an opportunity to do that. I'm still mad about Lennox Lewis having 2 losses because I think Oliver McCall, Lennox Lewis would have weathered that storm and beat the hell out of him. But he didn't get the opportunity to. That's why I kind of get upset about that. Now, as far as Gervonta Davis, I like the fact that he did a Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. He did a Gennady Golovkin versus David Lemieux. You got this reputation that I'm a knockout, I'll walk you down. Canelo didn't walk down Gennady Golovkin in the first fight. Gennady Golovkin didn't walk down David Lemieux in the first fight. Right? You just don't. You're a skillful fighter, and all of them are skillful. So we can't call the ones that don't get hit and have to do what they got to do to win a fight boring all of a sudden. Right? It's skillful. And that's what Gennady GTD, right? Gervonta Tank Davis showed. He showed his skill, his patience, and that he's a refined fighter. He's a good fighter, and his KO percentage is still there. I just would like them to have finished the guy. So as far as I'm concerned, you can't get Rolly's asked for a rematch here. He's not going to get a rematch. He's going to have to go beat some people, and then maybe they get a rematch down the line. I think Gervonta Tank Davis, if we want to say that he's the cash cow, pay-per-view, or the king of the lightweights, then he's got to go prove that. And I think that's what Gervonta Tank Davis should focus on, is maybe the winner of Devin Haney versus Kambosos, or what I would prefer in the meantime is, because they have 2 fights, Kambosos and Devin Haney, that Gervonta Tank Davis goes and gets Lomachenko in that time. When Lomachenko gets finished with what he's doing, then Gervonta Tank Davis should be, I'm waiting for you. That way, we have a little tournament. Kambosos and Devin Haney have a 2-fight thing, and in that meantime, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lomachenko, those 2 winners going at each other, and it'll be for undisputed and the best in the division, and I think there'll be no questions, and then after that's over, then everybody can go up to 140. What y'all think about that? By the way, Gervonta Tank Davis stops Rolly Romero, and in good fashion. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide.